early in the first season of DuckTales, it was established that, Donald and Della and Scrooge went on a lot of adventures, but what about the first adventure? I'm John Barry, and welcome to my review of DuckTales Season 3, Episode 16, The First Adventure. So this is literally the first adventure Don and Della go with their Uncle Scrooge. And I gotta say, this was a great episode. It actually pays homage to how in like some of the early cartoons in the comics, how Don eventually came to care for Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Apparently Donald and Della were messing around and put a firecracker under their father, and that went off, and he's in the hospital and all that, and their mother needs to take care of him, so they're being sent to live with their uncle. That is practically the same backstory that Huey, Dewey, and Louie got in many of the comics and some of the early cartoons, and like the early Don Duck cartoon shows. So we're talking about way before our time, way before the original DuckTales show as well. So that is neat how they pulled in that backstory for Donald and Della, which I think is it really is great. And we get this adventure. Scrooge is no businessman. He frames his adventures as business trips, but through this adventure he realizes that he can have fun with his family as well. And remember, this is before Della takes a spear of Celine and gets stranded on the moon. Mind you, which, I think very much does change Scrooge. He warms up, but in a way it does kind of parallel in some regards how he got, Huey and Dewey and Louie through an adventure. One he didn't quite want to do. But that actually I think very much does make sense. And it's just, and we also get more about Fowl's backstory and all that in this episode. Specifically, we see Scrooge encounter Fowl, so Black Heron and one of the vultures who was Scrooge's board of directors, and one of them, the ringleader of Fowl, if you will. And of course, they're going after this enchanted piece of paper, parchment, if you will, that whatever you write on it becomes reality. And so he's smart. The head Fowl guy is smart. He's like, I wish Scrooge never knew I was here, blah blah blah. So that is actually, I think, quite good. And then Scrooge, to basically defeat Fowl, or specifically Black Heron at this point, decides to write, only the true heir of Scrooge McDuck can find this again. And it disappears. A pretty good curse, by the way, if you will, or wish, if you will. And I have a feeling that's going to be the season finale, and potentially the series finale as a whole. The true heir of Scrooge McDuck, or heirs, if you will find this piece of paper once again and defeat Fowl. That's my prediction. It's just the right setup for a proper good conclusion of the season and the series and the arc against Fowl. That they find this piece of paper and the true heirs of Scrooge McDuck, which are going to be Huey, Dewey, and Louie combined. Not each individually, not one of them. The three of them working together. And then, of course, Webby is the glue that I think keeps them from sibling fighting myself, in my opinion. I also ship Dewey and Webby personally, but people have their own opinions on all that kind of stuff. But I really did like this episode because, one, we get no triplets. We get Scrooge, Donald, and Della on the first adventure, and that really was the best part of it. I could talk about some of the other parts of it, but really, just getting to know these characters when they first interacted. And it's clear from the beginning, Donald does not know how to play music despite thinking he's pretty good at it. Also, at this phase in Donald's life, he seems to have a bit of a socialist streak, if you will. He wants to be that rebellious teenager, if you will, I guess. Or pre-teen, I think, is probably more the age range that they are right now. But yeah, and also Della gets to pilot a plane for the first time in this episode. Compares it to a video game. Go figure. But yeah, so this is, I think, a fairly good episode, and it ends and ends with Scrooge hiring. I can't remember that vulture's name whose head's foul in Scrooge's board of directors. Bradley? I don't know why that's the name. Reginald? Those are the two names I'm thinking of. I'm not sure if they're right. But Scrooge says, I recognize you from my last Christmas party, which was the last season's Christmas episode, which I guess it was just perfect way of tying things together and all that. Though when you actually think about it, Scrooge from the future that actually talked to him, the head of fowl at that Christmas party, not the Scrooge of the past. At least that we saw on screen. But yeah, it is just a great fun episode, and I would love to hear your thoughts on the episode in the comment section down below. Also, consider checking me out on social media, Facebook and Twitter. Links for that along with my Discord server and website are in the description down below. So consider checking that stuff out if you are so interested. And if you haven't subscribed or followed my channel yet to stay up to date on all that I do, please consider doing so. And feel free to check out either the video or the playlist on screen now. And as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. Have a good one. Bye!